back to the breakdown where I break down some history, music, and the genre and subgenres of punk and metal. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience with the heavy music festival Sick New World, located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and now also in Austin, Texas. I got to experience Sick New World in Las Vegas in 2024 and now recently in 2026. So with that, I'll be explaining my experiences with both times that I went, ranging from the bands I saw and what I did and where I stayed. I'll start off when I went in 2024. In 2024, Sick New World had System of a Down and Slipknot headlining, which already on their own is a legendary lineup. Some of my other favorite bands that were there were Alice in Chains, Bring Me the Horizon, Primus, Loathe, Kitty, Drain, Vane FM, Lamb of God, Tsunami, Code Orange, Fleshwater, Static X, Knocked Loose, Fear Factory, and Zulu. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see a lot of these bands due to them crossing over with each other and also just being dehydrated and wanting to sit down. For this festival in 2024, I went with my father and brother. During our stay in Vegas, we stayed at the Hilton Grand Vacations Club Paradise, which is about a 20-minute walk away from the festival grounds. The day before the festival, we got our festival merch a day early, so we wouldn't have to wait all day at the festival and miss bands play. So if you decide to go, it's probably in your best interest to get your merch a day early so you don't miss bands play. Now, the day of the festival, we started our day at 7 a.m. in the morning, getting ready and getting breakfast at our hotel. Then we started our walk over to the festival grounds. Honestly, the lines aren't that bad getting into the festival, but the wait was probably the longest part of the day, just waiting for them to open the gates. Now, it was like around 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so it was a pretty warm day, and it was pretty hot if you were walking around or moshing or whatever. Now, the first set of the day that I witnessed was Nonpoint. Honestly, they put on a really good show. They played on one of the main stages. There's two main stages, the gold stage and the red stage. In my opinion, I thought this was a really good idea because while one band is playing and performing, the other side is getting ready. So when the first band is done playing and performing, the other side is already ready and can get straight to playing, so there's not much of a long wait. This is also the same, I guess, for other stages too, because they had a whole circular stage and it was split in half and it would rotate around. So one half of the circle they had the band performing, and on the other half of the circle they had the band getting ready, and it would rotate around. And it was just really fast set changes. It was pretty cool. Now, after Nonpoint finished their set, Kitty took the stage, and since we were early, we got to the main stages first, and we were really close to both bands. Kitty was really awesome. They played Brackish, Charlotte, and Spit. Hearing those songs live was pretty sick. I really wish they played Paper Doll, but yeah, it's alright. After they finished their set, I turned around and made my way to the Spiral stage to watch Paleface Swiss. But when I turned around, this is a huge crowd, and it was going to take me a bit to get to the next stage. I didn't even realize there was that much people behind me, so it was pretty awkward just trying to go through everybody and apologize, and it was very, very awkward. It took me a good 8 to 10 minutes to get out of that crowd and make my way to the Spiral stage. And by the time I got there, I was pretty early still, so I got to watch Murder Dolls play a little bit, and I got to watch them perform their cover of White Wedding by Billy Idol. And they also did their song, I Like to Say. It was a pretty good set. They sounded really good, but I honestly thought it felt weird seeing them without Joey. R.I.P. Joey Jordison. Now, after Murder Dolls finished their set, I got to watch Paleface Swiss. Now, these guys, they were amazing. They put on a really good show. They had 2 Wall of Deaths on both sides of the split sections. And this was at the Spiral stage. The layout for this was kind of weird. They had a split section in the middle for security in the sound table area. For Paleface, I got to hear my favorite songs by them, which were Please End Me and The Orphan. Now, it was time for Fear Factory. They were playing on the same stage, so I didn't have to walk anywhere. I just got closer to the stage as people were leaving, so, probably to watch other bands. Both me and my dad really like Fear Factory, so we were there at the stage at the same time watching them. My dad's seen them 8 times, and this was my first, so I was really excited. They put on like an amazing, like incredible show. The new singer sounded awesome, and Dino's guitar playing was legendary. I got to hear all my favorite songs like Demanufacture, Replica, Lichpin, Dielectric, and Shock. Now after that set, me and my brother met up at the main stages to catch the end of Ice Nine Kills. We went there just to get closer to Baby Metal, and Ice Nine Kills was alright. I mean, I wasn't really into them even when I first saw them when they went on tour with Slipknot, but Baby Metal was awesome, so I think it was worth watching Ice Nine Kills. Now after Baby Metal set, it was time for this was like the first time I sat down in the day. I sat down for like 20 minutes and then I made my way to the Diablo stage. Now at the Diablo stage, I watched Super Heaven for the first time. I didn't even know who these guys were. I only came so I could get closer for Tsunami, but honestly, listening and hearing them for the first time and hearing that one song, Poor Eileen, that made me a huge fan for sure. Now after Super Haven, Tsunami came on the stage. Now this is when stuff gets hectic. The Diablo stage is where it was going down at this whole festival. If I could go back, honestly, I would stay the whole day at the Diablo stage. Now the Diablo stage layout was a pretty small stage, so the stage presence was incredible by all the bands, and people were like stage diving, crowd surfing, everything. It was awesome. And it was inside of a tent, so it was shaded. They had fans in there too, keeping the place cool. And if I stayed there the whole day, honestly, I would have stayed there only for I'd stay there the whole day basically until Slipknot and System came on. Now Tsunami put on an amazing performance. The pits were so intense, and during their set I was really close to one, and stuff was hectic. I got kicked in the shoulder a couple of times, the crowd killed a couple of times. It was pretty awesome. They played songs like Contempt of Cop, Weak Die First, and etc. It was around this time of the day where I was starting to get dehydrated, which confused me because I was drinking a lot of water, but I'm going to assume it was because I didn't have like enough electrolytes and didn't really eat anything besides like a small breakfast that morning. So make sure to eat and drink your water if you go to any music festivals. Now, after Tsunami, I unfortunately watched Bad Omens, which I really, really regret, but I could have watched Fleshwater or Loathe, but it's alright. I got to rest and my feet weren't hurting as much as I sat down and watched Bad Omens. But I did get to catch like the last few songs of Loathe, and I was there to watch Kubla Khan. They put on a good show too again, but I was next to a pit again, got crowd killed a couple of times again, which was awesome. But now I don't really mess with Kubla Khan anymore because that drama with the singer and his friendship with like some sort of neo-Nazi, which is crazy in my opinion. How can you do that? Like, be in the hardcore scene and stuff, yeah. No, it was like when I was at this point in the day, which is like maybe like 3, just somewhere in the afternoon, my FOMO kicked in because I really wanted to watch Drain and Alice in Chains, but I ended up watching Alice in Chains instead of Drain because Alice in Chains rarely put on performances and Drain is always playing shows and being the goats that they are. This was also the time that my dad and my brother and I decided to stay at the main stages to get close to watch Slipknot, so I missed Vane, Knocked Loose, and Code Orange, but it's alright because we got really close to Slipknot. We did have to sit through like 2 full sets before Slipknot, and it was Danny Elfman, which in my opinion was so boring and like unnecessary. He took a long time to finish, which cut into other sets, which ultimately cut like Slipknot's set down to like 1 song, which in my opinion is a lot. Then after Danny Elfman, Bring Me the Horizon played, and they played some of their newer stuff, which is okay, like Kingslayer and that one meme song, Can You Feel My Heart? Those were played, and I wish they did some of their older deathcore stuff like Pray for Plagues or Chelsea Smile. Now, it's time for Slipknot. They were so amazing. Their performance was incredible. They had the old jumpsuits, the new masks, and were hectic like usual. They even had the new drummer Eloy Casagrande. he was going ham on the drums, and he played like a machine, staying in time the whole time while keeping a tight, groovy momentum. Honestly, he's probably like the best Slipknot drummer. I pay my respects to Joey Jordison, but like this dude was crazy. I low-key think he's way better than Joey. And I lost my voice from like earlier in the day and everything, but the adrenaline from watching Slipknot just like it made me scream and yell to every single one of the songs, and like it made me forget my feet were in pain, and it just also like the headache that I had going on just like completely disappeared while they took the stage. They played some of their older songs like Wait and Bleed, Eyeless, and then they played songs like Psychosocial. And my favorite song that whole night they played was Surfacing. That song to hear live again was so awesome. This was probably my favorite set of the entire day. And by the end of Slipknot, my adrenaline wore off and everything, and my headache and my feet pain were starting to catch up to me, and I like felt every ache in my body at this point. So we made our way towards the back of the festival during System, and we watched some of them, and I got something to eat at like 11, and this was like only my second meal of the day. And after we ate, I think it was the Prison song or something like that. Around that time of the set, we decided to leave, which I really regret at this point, because like how many times do you get to see System of a Down? But personally, I think it's like it was needed, because by the end of the night I had a huge migraine, and I threw up the meal that I just eaten. And so yeah, that was like my first experience for Sick New World for the first time. It was pretty chill and pretty awesome. I would definitely recommend going if you could. And that's the end of this first part, and I'll be covering 2026 in the next part, so see you there.
Yeah, baby.